So I'm on Handsworth Top, lovely afternoon. Come down to document the other houses being built in Handsworth. So strong roots for me, both my grandparents lived here all their married life, both my parents come from Handsworth. The dentist I went to, even though we moved out to Woodhouse and then out to Anston, was this dentist here, which was Coles and then Sinnott's. But I'm outside the post office. I can't believe it today, it's shut early at 1 PM. I come to sign the petition against the house building in Handsworth, but this is where you can come, folks, to sign a petition. I'm told it's online, so if I can find the online petition as well, I'll put that up for you. So there we're looking at the sword dancer. There's the old Norfolk Arms where my parents had the wedding reception. So we're going to go down Finchwell Road at the side. So down there is Asda, I think it was originally Walmart. And that's what actually ruined Handsworth for me. A real shame. I loved Handsworth when we coming to my grandparents down here. Never the same when they got rid of Moran Rights, but we'll pop down Finchwell Road. So I'm guessing the access for these new houses will be down here, unless it goes directly into Waverley. Walked off the kind of estate road, and now it's changing a little bit the environment. Saying a dead end, and you'll find out in a moment when we come to the fields. So I thought I was near the Nunnery Colliery, so this was the old Nunnery Colliery at Handsworth. It's now other purposes, but we'll get down to the field. Got a bit of an allotment down here, but I've got some really horrific facts in a moment for you. So I've heard about the Nunnery Colliery, and I didn't know it still existed, but it should get interesting on this view in a moment. You got a peacock here. I love them. So I'm looking back up to where the old Nunnery Colliery was. I'm told the family called the Jaffers actually own that area, and some persons just told me that the farmer owns this land here. So somewhere across here down to Waverley, and that's Waverley over there, they're going to be out putting houses. Probably be okay because there's a train station down there. Well, there may be a train station down there on that line. I don't know where it's going. So I've come right to the bottom of the development of new houses just to show you Waverley. So in the end there'll be 4,000 new houses there. I don't know what this development is that's going off just here. There you've got the railway line. So the only access people's going to have to the new houses is going to be through, I'd say, Finchwell Road. So it's somewhere on this beautiful area. There's going to be 750 new homes here, and then 868-ish on Beaver Hill Road. But you can see there's a railway line here, so the only access is through the top end. You can see the spire of St Mary's Church somewhere up there. So I have strong links being christened there, my parents marrying there, and then up there is the old Nunnery Colliery. But like I said, we're only 60% food efficient. So Handsworth's getting an unfair quota of 25% of these 6,000 new homes on the Greenbelt, amounting to 3.6% of new houses being built in Sheffield on the Greenbelt. But it gets worse because there was a target of 40,000 new homes in Sheffield. Well, the government's increased it by 35% to 53,000 new homes. So if that's 3 people an house, that's 150,000 people, isn't it? Just get that into your head, 150,000 more people, because I think that's what's going to happen. So the population of Sheffield back in the Industrial Revolution, well, sorry, not in the Industrial Revolution, but when industry was really booming in the 1950s, was 570,000 people in Sheffield. It then dipped to about 513 after the 1980s when we lost all the steel jobs, and it's now risen again to 560,000. Now, back in the 1990s I worked in London, and I normally went from Brent Cross, and one day I mistakenly went from Neasden, and I was so shocked because there was only me and one other lady on that tube that was actually Indigenous. Now, it shouldn't matter about skin colour, but it's not the skin colour, is it, folks? It's the culture they bring. But on top of that, we didn't need more people because we're deindustrialised. So what they did is, from 1948, they said they were rebuilding the UK, but there was a shortage of jobs in 1948. So the people coming in back in 1948 weren't needed to rebuild the country. It was actually, they were actually invited here because there was high unemployment in the West Indies, so their government wanted us to employ them. So that drove down wages. But then in 1998 Blair really opened the doors up, didn't he? And we've had 10 million people since then, just in that short space of time. But like I say, that's driven down wages. We didn't need them. We should have been looking at ways of automating warehousing rather than bringing more people in. So we're going to have a surplus number of people when all the warehouses become automated. So it's absolute madness what's going off. We need to be 100% food efficient, and I would say that we shouldn't bring another person in until we're 100% food efficient. But on top of that, we need to start manufacturing and be sustainable again. But our green agenda wants to build thousands and thousands of acres of solar panels on our Greenbelt as well. You couldn't make it up, could you? Now we keep voting. We voted for Brexit for one reason, to shut the doors, and what do? They just increased the immigration. So when the Tories say, oh, don't vote for Labour, we'll sort it out, well, the Tories are just as bad as Labour. They had the mandate with the Brexit vote. They had a massive majority of MPs to actually implement what we asked for. They refused to do it and just opened the gates up even more. So you can't trust Labour, you can't trust the Tories, but can we even trust the Reform Party? But there, you've just got Waverley over there, train line there, so that proves you can't get access that way. So the only way is up, and the issue will be with extra school places. So we're just reducing wages, the GDP per head, and the quality of life with more and more people, because they don't build the facilities for the extra people, do they? They just squeeze more and more of us in. So that's it, we're just going to lose this beautiful countryside.